Let's go over some of the best and not so great things about moving to Ambler, Pennsylvania, so you know if this is a town to add to your list when you're thinking about making the move to the Philadelphia metro area. Starting with the first pro, which is the downtown area. One of the main reasons why people love living in Ambler is because of the walkable downtown, which features tons of restaurants, bars, entertainments, cafes, etc. Within the downtown area, there are tons of amazing restaurants with just about every cuisine that you could really want, and truthfully, just about every restaurant is incredible. Ambler is considered to be a very historic town, so when you're walking the downtown area, it's very likely that you'll see a lot of older historic buildings and homes, but overall, it's a very vibrant downtown walkable area. Another pro for why people love living in Ambler is because of the school district. According to niche.com, there are 2 school districts that service the Ambler area. Wissahickon School District, which was rated the 15th best district in the state out of close to 500 total school districts. According to niche.com, this district is rated an A+ overall, with an A+ for academics, teachers, and college prep as well. There's also a student to teacher ratio of 15:1. The second school district that services Ambler is the school district of Upper Dublin, which is rated an overall A with an A+ for academics, an A for teachers and clubs, and an A+ for sports and college prep, and also an A- for the administration team. This district is rated the 22nd best district in the state and is also a 15:1 student to teacher ratio. The next pro that I have to mention is all of the incredible community events in downtown Ambler. This town has a very strong community feel, and the historic town of Ambler really does a great job with having some incredible annual events for not only the residents of Ambler, but also the people that surround Ambler as well. These events are quite popular. Just a couple of the very popular events that Ambler has is the farmers market, the downtown car show, tons of holiday events, and also their first Friday event, which is when they shut down the center of downtown Ambler, where they have tons of restaurants with outdoor seating. They also have street vendors, music, games for kids, and they have this every month on the first Friday of the month. So maybe you don't want to move to the downtown Philadelphia area where it's crowded and hectic and loud and you really don't have that much privacy, but you do still kind of want the suburban feel that has a downtown walkability type mini city type feel. Ambler might be a great option for you. Another pro of Ambler is the very convenient public transportation. If you need to commute into Center City, Philadelphia for either work or just weekend trips, you can definitely take advantage of the Ambler train station right there in downtown. Ambler has both public transportation when it comes to a train and a bus as well. So depending on how far away from Ambler you need to go, one of these avenues can certainly help you get there. Although Ambler does have some great public transportation, I wouldn't consider it a town where you could live without a car. Unless you work from home and you only really plan on walking the downtown Ambler area, you most likely will need a car and can't really 100% rely on the bus or the train. Now that we spoke about some of the best things about living in Ambler, let's go over some of the not so great things, starting with the property taxes. Ambler is a part of Montgomery County, Pennsylvania, which is one of the 4 counties surrounding the city, which makes up the Philadelphia suburbs. Ambler is actually one of the towns within Montgomery County that has some of the highest property taxes. For example, a single family home in the Philadelphia suburbs will be roughly around $5,000 to $8,000 a year in property taxes, sometimes a little lower, sometimes a little higher. Of course, it all depends on where within the Philly metro area you're looking in. But when it comes to Ambler, overall blanket statement, for the most part, property taxes will be closer to $8,000 to $12,000 a year. Even with those property taxes in Ambler, depending on which state you're moving from, those taxes could still be drastically below what you're paying. So of course, keep in mind that it really does depend on the area. And if those taxes seem to be too high, reach out to me and I'll help you find a town with more affordable property taxes. The next con of living in Ambler is the traffic. Of course, this is still considered a very small suburban downtown area, but when it comes to rush hour, the downtown streets can feel pretty crowded, especially when the train lets out during rush hour as well. So if you're planning to commute to work and you have to leave Ambler to do so, factor in a couple of extra minutes to try to get through the downtown area during those rush hour periods. The next con that we have to talk about is the cost of living, which might actually surprise you. According to bestplaces.net, if the entire entire country's baseline cost of living is 100. Pennsylvania is below that at an average cost of living of 94.6, and Ambler is up at 114.1. If we break down the average cost of living categories, we have grocery just under 11 points above the national average, health right around 1 point above the national average, housing is actually 77.8 points above the national average, which we'll talk about that in a minute. Utilities is 6.9 points above the national average, and transportation is 1.9 points under the average. Ambler's average home sale price is $609,897. Let's quickly take a look to see what type of home you can get within that price range. So we can see here that there are some newer construction townhomes, a small multifamily property there, and some single family homes as well. Of course, keep in mind that this is just the average price of a home. Of course, we certainly have homes well below that, around the 300s, and also well above that as well. So of course, depending on what your price point is and what you're looking for, take that average price point with a grain of salt. So depending on your personal preference, this next con could be a pro or a con depending on what you're looking for, and that's the lack of nightlife. If you're looking for a town with the walkability and some great downtown restaurants and maybe a couple of kind of low-key, relaxed bar environments, you can definitely find that in Ambler. But if you're looking for a town that has multiple live music venues and tons to do, and also kind of the club environment, Ambler certainly does not have that type of nightlife. But of course, if you are willing to travel a short distance, you could take the train or drive to Center City, Philadelphia, and that will give you all of the nightlife that you would ever need. The next con that we're going to talk about is honestly not one that many people really even think about until too late, and that is the job market here in Ambler. Unless you're moving here and you completely remote work from home, or if you're already transferring your job from out of state to the Ambler or Philadelphia area, it might be a little hard to find a job within the town of Ambler unless you're looking to work for a locally owned business or a restaurant as well. If you want a town where you can live and work right within the town without ever really having to leave, Ambler might not be the best option for you. If you don't mind commuting, you could of course find just about every job industry that you would ever need, both in the surrounding towns around Ambler and also down in Center City, Philadelphia as well. If Ambler is a place that you could see yourself living, or if you need help finding another town that better suits what you're looking for, I would love to help you find your perfect home here in the Philadelphia metro area. All of my contact information is below, and I'll see you over on this next video.